Hi, and welcome to this episode of Jing TV, which is really exciting for me. We're going to interview my top dad, the top salesman in the world, about how to use sales in your massage practice. Welcome back to this episode of Jing TV. This is my dad, Billy Marie.
Hi, how you doing?
A real New Yorker who has been a salesman, or was salesman for how many years, Dad?
Over 40.
Over 40 years. And in fact, the year I was born, you got that Best Bell Ringer award, remember?
Yes, I remember. And it was marvelous. To be the top person in the country, I felt very, very content and finally made it to the top. But it took a lot of hard work, of course, and we'll get into the hard work and how we felt and I felt and how our family grew up. And look what I have here.
Ta-da! So anyway, we just thought there were a couple of sales tips that Dad would have that might help you in your practice. So basically, Dad, if I say to you, what's the #1 thing that's important in sales or marketing yourself, what would you say?
Prospecting.
Okay. So what's prospecting?
Okay, well, first of all, you have a great product here, and maybe through the TVs and various advertising, you get some clients.
Okay.
But the most important thing is to make sure you always have enough for clients.
Okay.
You could have be the best massage therapist in the world, and all your teachers can be the same.
Yeah.
But if you have nobody to work on, or nobody to teach, how are you going to be successful? It's an impossibility. Okay,
so for massage therapists out there, it's thinking about your client base. How do you build your client base? And some therapists have a hard time figuring out, do I say that at a party? Do I go and do I do leaflets, flyers, that kind of thing? So what would you say to people? How much time do they get to prospect?
First and foremost, I think you have to believe in what you're doing.
Absolutely.
And no matter where you go, you should always be proud of what you've accomplished, because you're a massage therapist and it's a very, very difficult thing to do. To get new clients, some of the areas that I would look into is go to a chiropractor and say, do you have people that are looking for massages? And give out the card. And then maybe even go to your local hospital and go into the various departments, let's see, when people need to rehabilitation.
Okay.
And maybe they'll refer you to these are some of the areas that you really should look into that I think would be worthwhile. Now,
one of the things I always remember that you taught me, and Rachel and I talk a lot about in our marketing class, which you can come and see, Jing Institute in Brighton, is about the old Tuesday, Thursday, the all closing the deal. So massage therapists always have a really hard time with kind of rebooking clients and feeling like it's okay. So tell me a little bit about your experience with that.
Well, most of the time when we were taught many years ago how to get an appointment, you always have usually 3 objections.
Great.
And at the end of the 3rd objection, what will happen, either they'll hang up or you'll have an appointment. And also when you ask for appointments, you should always give them a choice of time and a choice of a day. So for example, Tuesday at 10 or Wednesday at 3, which is more convenient for you? And you wait for the answer. And don't continue, just wait for the answer.
Right, don't fill in the silence.
Exactly.
Don't fill, because people do that. They go, oh, you're going to object, and then you kind of keep people, right.
The first person that answers is a loser. Because then you've won, and you have your appointment.
Oh, right, okay. So and then what about objections? What do you do about objections about money? So if, you know that I've been through that with my practice. People are like, I don't have enough money. So what would your advice be?
Well, I think you should set your parameters before you sit down and work on somebody.
Okay.
You should know what you're going to get paid, and you should realize what your time is worth. And when somebody says, I can't afford that, well, how many times will you accept that and bring it into your own life? If the landlord comes knocking on the door and says, where's my money? You say, well, this one owes me, that one owes me. And what is that landlord going to do? You're going to be repossessed. So there's no two ways about it. You have to get your money and make sure you get your money.
Okay. And yeah, and overseeing those objections. So that idea, like, because you always had every objection is an opportunity, right? How do you turn those things around? Okay. You were a master at that.
That's right. Thank you very much. I must have told her too much. But in any event, what you have to do is always realize that people are going to give you objections. And when you answer the objection, go for the close. So for example, you call somebody and say, Dr. So-and-so, I'd really like to come in and talk to you about my practice. They say, well, I really don't have time.
Okay.
Well, doctor, this is going to benefit you, and these are the reasons why, A, B, or C. However you want to present it to them, you should. And then you close for the appointment. It's pretty simple, and it's a very, very easy thing. There's only 10 objections. Only 10.
Do you remember what they are?
Unfortunately,
well, I'm sure we can get him on another Jing TV.
I think I will bring him forward.
And the other thing I remember you saying was, you know, every time you make a prospect call, the only goal is actually just to get the appointment.
That's
right?
correct.
So if you get the appointment, you've done it. So if somebody's coming in.
That's a great point, because a lot of people tend to oversell on the phone.
Right.
There is no pen that's going to come out of that phone and sign a deal for you.
Right.
So you have to close just for the appointment. A little about your story, about who you are, a little presentation, maybe 30 seconds. And within that 30 seconds, you're going to have to close for that appointment. Don't go on and on and on and on. That's a business situation. And
then the last bit I just remember also you saying was, so they try to push you off on the phone, right? No, this isn't going to work for me, blah, blah, blah. And then you said something to me once like, well, always just say to them, can I call you back in a month's time? And people don't say no. No, they'll never say no to you. But always remember that you have to follow up on those calls. Follow up, so important. If you don't, and maybe that's somebody that you're really trying to get desperately, keep calling them, and what you'll do is wear them down, and they'll get to see you. Yeah. And that's true. And always be polite and always be honest. Yes, I agree. Most honest salesman in the world. I agree. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much, Pat. Oh, it's amazing. And he taught me so much. Anyway, integrity, sales, follow up, and believe in what you do, right? Absolutely. Passion will get you at every time. So hang out with us at the Jing Institute. Come down to Brighton, share our passion, follow us on Twitter, Jing Institute, Facebook, or also subscribe on Jing TV. All right, tell us what you think. Give Billy Maria heads up. All right, bye. See you next time. Thank you very much.